not a lot of Christmas spirit in the air at Old Trafford tonight, I'm sure. They've lost 1-0 to Bayern. They're out of Europe. Tim watched it. Tim, they had one shot on target. Their last effort at goal was in the 54th minute in a match they knew they had to win to have any chance. How do you explain that?
Well, I forgot that chance, actually. It was Luke Shaw, he hits it, and it was right down the throat of Neuer, and he saves it very easily. It's about 25 yards. I mean, I think Højlund never touched the ball in Bayern box. I mean, I don't know that stat, but I can't remember him ever doing that. But he's being starved of any sort of service, any sort of support. They need to win the football match tonight, and they were scared to come out. They felt like if they were going to come out, they were going to get hammered there tonight. They had no belief. Ten Hag had no belief in this group of players to go toe-to-toe. They put the press on when Neuer had the ball and he was just passing it around them. And occasionally they went through the press and they looked dangerous. They're very quick with the players they've got. Musiala's a quality player. Davis, Harry Kane obviously was dragging Varane and Maguire all over the place. They've injuries tonight as well. Luke Shaw come off injured, Maguire come off injured. They don't look good. They won't certainly be fit. You wouldn't have thought the muscle injuries for the weekend when they go to Anfield. So it gets tougher, and they need to roll their sleeves up and they believe, but they need to have a system what they trust and they want to play in and they get the best out of them. At the moment, certainly tonight, it looked like they were just scared stiff to come out because they didn't have the trust in themselves to, A, open up Bayern Munich, and B, defensively, they didn't trust their team. And it's sad to see. I mean, the fans got frustrated with it. They knew they would be saying exactly what I'm saying. I'm sure they would. You know, anyone who went to that game or watched that game tonight, they would be saying, why didn't we have a go? You know, it's like a boxer getting in a ring and never throwing a punch and just saying, well, I got beat on points. No one's going to give you a pat on the back for going out, a whimper in the Champions League. When this draw comes out, Jules, you know, you think, Bayern Munich, yes, they're going to be very difficult. Man United should qualify. I don't care how many injuries they've got. With Galatasaray and Copenhagen, credit to them, they've done all right. Copenhagen have been fantastic, but Man United should be qualifying out of this group.
Joey, this is Christmas party season. No one likes to leave a party early. United are at home and tucked up in bed before they've even opened the Secret Santas. How damaging is this exit so early and in such a fashion for Manchester United?
Oh, hugely. I think particularly when you look at that group, Jules, and yes, we know Bayern are a strong team. I mean, we spoke about it, didn't we, during the game in terms of you look at those two sides, you know, two European giants, but what Man United player is going to get anywhere near that Bayern Munich team at the moment? I'd probably say maybe Bruno, you know, when he's anywhere near his level. But they're night and day at the moment, Jules, and the table shows that. I mean, 4 points from this group is so far off it for Manchester United. The only thing I see that resembles Man United is the badge on players' shirts, you know, and that's the whole football club from top to bottom. Nowhere near what we've come to expect from such a big club. And you say they were scared to go and have a go, but I think when you look at that group of players that he's got to choose from at the moment, you can't go and open up. And I think that sums Man United up again at the moment. We so associate them when they need a result, they need a big performance, they go and have a go, and they're just not capable of doing that at the moment. Whether it's the manager, whether it's the group of players, who I think it is at the moment, that just haven't got that ability and that quality and that leadership, you know, to really want to go and do that and take hold of a situation. It's a mess, Jules. Yeah,
I mean, they've dropped 8 points in this group as well from winning positions. They'll look back and think what might have been the Copenhagen Galatasaray games. Lee, they've now got to pick themselves up off the canvas and go to Anfield, where they've been well and truly beaten in the last 2 seasons. How on earth do they do that?
Well, I mean, even with injuries, you know, we're just looking at that, and you have to take that into consideration. But I think if they're scared to play at home, I mean, I think they'd be even more scared to go to Anfield on Sunday and really put up a test, because I think Liverpool could really put them to bed. I really do. Just saying that to Joby. I just feel that we've got to that point now where Manchester United are not Manchester United. You know, they're not fearful. I don't think they will get any form of result the weekend, and I do fear where the club's going to actually go from here. You know, do they go to Anfield and just try and be solid? You know, make it hard? Do they try and be defensive? What are they? We just don't know what we're going to expect from them. And the squad of players he's got to pick from now at this moment in time, I just think that they're in serious trouble. I don't know what they're going to do to change the formula. Whether we said, do they change the manager now? Do they have to make this big call? people from above should be looking down and going, we're not in the Champions League. We have to prepare for next season. How they do that, they have to make some big calls, and it has to happen pretty soon.
Well, and Tim's just told us in a must-win game that the tactics seem to be don't go too attacking because we might get caught out of the back. They now go to Anfield. I mean, they're going to play the same way again. I mean, he can't go for it there, can he?
Well, I mean, I think it's a really big ask, isn't it? At the moment, one of the biggest things is it's just doing all the basics really well all the time. And sometimes you have to kind of take a step back to be able to come forward. And ultimately, if you're putting the right effort in, if you're sticking to within your game plan and you're defending collectively as a team, obviously then you can build a platform into games to give yourself a chance to actually manage other teams a little bit better. And if they switch off from that early doors in the game against Liverpool, they're going to get caught out really early. And then you're on the back foot, and then you've already seen the response when things are not going their way. So it could be a slippery slope if that ends up being the situation at the weekend.
Glenn, just briefly, I mean, Lee said at the start of the programme he thought if United went out of Europe completely tonight, that might actually be better for them than being in the Europa League in the new year. Do you agree? Because they are out of it completely now.
Manchester United better being out of Europe.
Oh, way.
Not for me. I mean, they're a huge club in Europe. They need to be fighting at the top. That is no surprise tonight. Let's be honest, that's a circumstance of the season. That's what's happening in the Premier League. Yeah, they've got 4 points from a group that they would have hoped to go through in, but Bayern Munich were like cruise control. They didn't break a sweat, did they, Tim?
No.
I mean, Harry Kane was dropping deep. It actually looked like, I kept half an eye on the game. It looked like Bayern were going through the motions. They came, they restored their own confidence, they killed Manchester United, and looking at that fixture list, I really fear for them. Let alone Ten Hag. You can call the manager whatever you want. You've got to look around your teammates, and you've just got to take a little bit of self-pride. And, I mean, to get undone like they keep getting undone, it's becoming embarrassing for them, I think.
And when they look around that changing room, how many players are they going to see? You've touched on it, Tim. Shaw and Maguire went off today. Rashford and Martial were missing, apparently due to illness. Fernandes will be suspended at Anfield. No Malacia, Casemiro, Martinez, Eriksen, Mount, Lindelof.
Yeah.
What do they do?
Well, you know, this ain't bad, team. You know, when you're playing the likes of Garnacho, who's probably one of their bright sparks at the moment. Kobe Mainoo, who I believe should be in the side anyway, got left out. Hannibal got left out after 2 man-of-the-match appearances. You got players who want to wear that shirt, who want to run around, no matter what the circumstance, whether they're 10-0 down or 0-0 in the game. That's what they need at the moment. People who are going to wear that badge with pride. And I think the kids through the academy are the ones who are going to do it, and they won't let them down. And at the moment, they're probably better than these superstars who are just strolling around the pitch and giving them nothing.
Can they bounce back at Anfield at the weekend where they haven't won in 8 years? We shall see. Terrible night at the office for Manchester United, who are out of Europe.